You're watching Get Lifted TV, the debate show. I'm Mariam Koloyan.
And I'm Lewis Daniel.
This is the lovely Lewis Daniel with all the food in his mouth.
Yeah.
And we're having a little breakfast edition of our debate show today. Today we will be discussing the much highly anticipated, critically acclaimed new Stormzy album. It came out very recently and it's already making huge waves. The music video and the single Big For Your Boots came out the beginning, it was almost pretty much exactly a month ago.
Yeah.
And Lewis, your thoughts?
I think this is a game-changing record.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is setting a new standard for grime music, seriously. I mean, it started off with Skepta last year and Kano. They both came up with great albums. Konnichiwa had this great aesthetic to it. This great level of production that I haven't seen in grime music before.
Yeah, they really upped the bar.
And it's like these albums. When I say production, it's not just production. It's the art. It's like it feels like a piece of art. It feels like I want to buy these records on vinyl and hold them in my hands. And we it's only now, but grime music is 10 odd years old, and it's only now we're starting to see albums which can really stand the test of time.
I think what you mentioned about the art thing is really, really poignant in this. For example, Konnichiwa definitely felt like it had a start, a middle and an end, and it had loads of linking together, and it had a concept like Konnichiwa. Even from the name you could get what it was about, and it totally made sense that it just propelled him, and he sort of said Konnichiwa to the world.
Yeah.
But with Stormzy, I think everything from the album name, Gang Signs and Prayers, amazing. The album cover, the sort of Last Supper, Da Vinci kind of vibe. I feel it's quite revolutionary from other albums that are going out in grime and hip hop at this time, because it's completely different. There's he sings in it, first of all.
Yeah, his voice is actually pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
For a rapper,
Yeah. He doesn't use that auto-tune that Kanye does.
Yeah, exactly.
There's all these great interludes with loads of other singers, and there's he uses the Rhodes kind of piano vibes. And it's actually quite funny because he says in interviews that he grew up on grime music, not hip hop, which is a testament to how young he is.
Yeah.
Growing up on grime and not, God. And also it's funny that he says that, because he sort of took what he grew up with in grime, the early kind of wily sort of styles, and then now he's made with this album completely taken it to a different realm of what grime can be, which is so exciting.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying about bringing it to a new standard. It's got elements of gospel in this album. It's got elements of R&B in this album, and I feel like this album can take UK rap music onto a global stage, which couldn't happen before. And I'd love to see, grime is getting a little bit of attention in America, but I would love to see this happening more, and I'd love it to break through, and I think it could.
I always found him quite unique because I sort of fell in love with him from his early videos of Know Me From, where he's just in his front yard on his street with a cardboard cutout of an iPhone, and then his mum's there, and then they have to cut the video because there's some cars in the way, and it literally says awkward moment when cars get in the way of your music video, and it's just so, it's really sounds really cheesy, but it's really real. And in the music video for Big For Your Boots, he's literally on top of a chicken shop counter, and he's rapping in the chicken shop, and then he goes from that to going on stage in front of millions of people at the Brits, and nominated for a British Breakthrough Artist. And I feel even the way how this album came out, there were loads of billboard advertisements of his name and just the initials of his album,
cool.
months and months
really
before, and
cool.
people were already talking about it.
Yeah.
It's a testament to how young he is, because he's definitely he's seen how the others do it. He planned this really well, and he's a little young visionary. Well, not little, he's massive. Yeah. He's so huge.
I want to go back to your point on this album is totally real. Real is the big word. I think it's it's a window into young black culture, where he grew up in South London, in Croydon. It is very positive as well. Yes, there are some negative things he brings up, but it's a commentary about what's happening. It's not glamorizing, and I praise him so much for being that black positive role model, because we need that. I feel like a lot of young kids need that. Young kids on the estate need to see that you can do that. You can be positive. And he calls people out for basically being waste. I think it is so important for anybody of any group to see successful models of people doing that. I'm not saying everyone should be a rapper, but I think,
especially where he comes from, and he, it's not like he glamorizes, because you know how a lot of grime originally came as like clashes and freestyles and battles, and where they would talk about them being so great and this and that, and like in this one he doesn't just do that. He also talks about gang signs, like he talks about growing up, and there was probably like in Croydon, and I think the sad thing about grime is that still in a lot of communities in this country, I think it's sort of seen as a like it's just still a young person's kind of thing, and very reckless. But I loved how he went on LBC very recently, a few days ago, and called out somebody who said people like him and Wiley and Skepta are causing knife crime. Because I think it's got that stereotype. And he literally went there, and it was so funny because the radio presenter, she was this woman who looked maybe like middle-aged and stuff, and she was asking questions, and he was totally immature. He just killed it.
This is what we need to see. I want to praise the album as well for let's
talk about the album.
Yeah, let's talk about the use of real instruments. Like I heard strings, saxophone. I'm a saxophonist, so I was happy there. Trumpets, like it's musically mature, and that's what we need to see. It still has that going back to what you said, it has that cockiness of grime, like going back, but and I think it needs that, and it has a few tracks that are pretty grime central, but it's much more than that, and I love the energy, I love the fire, I love the passion.
He's got such like fire in him. His voice is so much energy. His music videos, just him performing live, he's got a lot of excitement,
and he's not scared to be vulnerable, which is like what we wouldn't expect. It's
not about his mother.
100 bags. That's one of my favorite ones. Like, it's like,
you don't really see that many grime artists getting that personal and showing their weaknesses. He talks about how he messed up when he was younger, but he was just trying to get by and not really understanding.
I feel like this is going to be a classic album of our time.
It's his first album.
Yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
come on.
I think actually it could make it's even more controversial. It's even more accessible than Konnichiwa. For an American audience.
It is.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's got some hip hop elements in it as well. It's got like sort of rapping over that kind of Rhodes Nord tunes, and
it's very British. But it's got elements of
worldliness.
Worldliness.
That's the word of the day.
The word of the day.
Try saying that fact out. Worldliness.
Well, I can't even say it once.
I just can't talk.
Even for people who have never really listened to grime, I feel like this is a great way in. This is great music. It goes beyond just grime, and it tells the story of what's happening in our world today.
It represents the past and the present, but most importantly, I think he represents the future of grime. He's so young. He just came about, like, he's done his homework and he's just steering it into new directions. It does not sound like any other grime or any other hip hop album. It's so different, and I just think really massive props to him. We personally love the album, Gang Signs and Prayer. Definitely check it out. Check out his single. It's all on YouTube as well. Big Spotify for Your Boots
and all that stuff.
Let us know what you think in terms of him as the sort of future of grime, and leave us a comment, share,
subscribe,
like,
all those great things,
all those little great things that you guys love to do.